children. See, in today's class we will discuss objective type questions related to combustion and flame. So let us take some sample questions, multiple choice questions, and let us discuss how to answer the multiple choice questions that can be asked in examination related to combustion and flame. Okay. First question. A luminous flame appears option A, green, option B, blue, option C, yellow, option D, red. Yes. See, here they have asked the color of luminous flame. So while discussing flame, we have studied that when complete combustion takes place, color of the flame will be blue, which gives more heat energy. When incomplete combustion takes place, then color of the flame will be yellow, and which does not give much heat. So yellow colored flame is called luminous flame, and blue colored flame is called non-luminous flame. So a luminous flame appears to be yellow in color. So it is a yellow colored flame. That yellow colored flame, it is mainly because of incomplete combustion. So incomplete combustion of fuel produces yellow flame, which is called as luminous flame. Complete combustion of fuel produces blue flame, which is called as non-luminous flame. The next second question. In which zone of a candle does complete combustion take place? Option A, inner, option B, outer, option C, middle, option D, all the three zones. Yes. See, we have discussed that is flame, it has three zones: outer zone, middle zone and inner zone. See, outer zone where complete combustion takes place and it appears to be bluish, that is non-luminous flame. Middle zone where partial combustion takes place and there some region it appears to be yellowish in nature. And inner zone where no combustion of fuel takes place and it is said to be dark zone. So outer zone of the flame, that is complete combustion takes place and temperature will be high. Middle zone, partial combustion takes place where temperature will be medium. Whereas inner zone, there is no combustion takes place, that's why the temperature will be very less. So here the question is, in which zone of a candle flame, in which zone of a candle flame does complete combustion takes place? So we can say that outer zone of candle flame, complete combustion takes place where temperature is very high. question. Substances which can catch fire are called dash. Option A, acids. Option B, bases. Option C, combustible. Option D, non-combustible. Okay, substances which can catch fire are called. Very easy question. That is, combustible materials, they catch fire on burning, whereas non-combustible materials, they does not catch fire on burning. Acids and bases, they are different type of chemicals. Okay, so answer is combustible. So combustible substances, they catch fire when heated. Non-combustible substances, they do not catch fire on heating. Paper, cloth, petrol, kerosene, diesel, sulfur, magnesium, they are all combustible substances. Stone, water, they are non-combustible substances. Soil, so they do not catch fire on heating. Iron, metal, so they are examples for non-combustible substances. The next question. Which of the following is not a necessary condition of combustion? Option A, presence of combustible material. Option B, presence of supporter of combustion. Option C, attainment of ignition temperature. And option D, presence of carbon dioxide. Yes. So we have discussed that is the conditions required to start combustion. So there are three conditions which are required to start combustion. One is there must be a combustible material, then there must be supporter of combustion, that is oxidizer, and then temperature, that is ignition temperature, minimum temperature required to start combustion. Presence of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is not required to start combustion process. Actually, carbon dioxide is a fire extinguisher. It puts off fire. Okay, so that is why presence of carbon dioxide is not required for the process of combustion. So it is a condition which is not necessary to start combustion process, whereas other three conditions, they are very much essential. In the absence of any one, combustion process cannot take place. So three conditions necessary for combustion can be represented in the form of a triangle which is known as combustion triangle or flame triangle. Okay, so that you remember. The next question. Which zone of a flame does a goldsmith use for melting gold and silver? Option A, outer zone. Option B, middle zone. Option C, inner zone. Option D, lower zone. Yes. See, this type of question, what is known as application level question. So here a new situation is given, and by using the concept what you have learnt, you have to apply that concept and you have to select the suitable answer. So what is the question? Which zone of a flame does a goldsmith use for melting gold and silver? I think you know goldsmith. So he is a person who actually prepare gold and silver jewelries. And to prepare gold and silver jewelries, first they have to melt, that is gold and silver, and then they will be subjected to molding to get the required shape. Okay, and for that melting purpose, that is flame will be used. So in that flame, goldsmith uses which part of the flame? And according to the concept what we have learnt, when we take the zones of a flame, outer zone always produces high temperature compared to middle zone and inner zone. Suppose if he uses middle zone or inner zone, time required for melting process will be more. Suppose if he uses outer zone, where temperature will be very high, and as a result the process of melting can be done easily. So this type of questions what are actually known as application level questions, and these type of questions you can expect more in competitive examinations. So here the answer is outer zone. The next question. A temperature at which the substance burns is called Option A, melting point. Option B, boiling point. Option C, ignition temperature. Option D, evaporation point. Okay. So here question is direct question. A temperature at which as the substance burns, it is called as ignition temperature. So ignition temperature, or it is also known as kindling temperature. Minimum temperature which is required to burn a substance is called as ignition temperature. Some substances they have higher ignition temperature and some substances they have lower ignition temperature. So for example, paper and wood. So paper requires less amount of heat for burning because its ignition temperature is low, whereas wood requires more heat for burning because its ignition temperature is high. Similarly, there are many substances which have very low ignition temperature and burns readily at room temperature. So such substances they are called as inflammable substances. Inflammable substances are those which have very low ignition temperature and care must be taken in order to transport them. For example, petrol, gas, kerosene, they are highly inflammable substances because their ignition temperature is very less. Similarly, there is a non-metal called phosphorus, and phosphorus is stored in water. Why it is stored in water? Because when phosphorus is exposed to air, it slowly reacts with oxygen, and during that process heat energy will be released, and that heat energy which is released, once it reaches the ignition temperature of phosphorus, it starts burning. So phosphorus meaning, phospho means light. Phosphorus means actually light I carry. So when phosphorus has been isolated, a scientist isolated phosphorus and he kept that substance in his lab room. After some time it started burning on its own. So that's why he named that element as phosphorus. Phosphorus means light I carry. So why phosphorus burns? Because its ignition temperature is 30 degrees Celsius, which is almost equal to room temperature. That's why it is stored in water. Why phosphorus does not react with water, that's why it is stored in water. Okay, so ignition temperature, it is minimum temperature which is required for a substance to burn. Next question. Burning of LPG is option A, rapid combustion. Option B, slow combustion. Option C, spontaneous combustion. Option D, all the above. So burning of LPG is an example for what type of combustion. We have already learned that depending upon the amount of heat and light liberated during combustion are of three types: slow combustion, rapid combustion and spontaneous combustion. Rapid combustion is also called as explosion. Okay. So in slow combustion, amount of heat energy released will be less. So which are the examples for slow combustion? Rusting of iron, oxidation of glucose in our body. They are examples for slow combustion. Spontaneous combustion, extensive burning activity with the liberation of heat and light. It is known as spontaneous combustion. And similar, the combustion in which enormous amount of heat and light energy released, along with that sound is also produced, what is known as rapid combustion or explosion, burning of cracker. So burning of LPG is an extensive burning activity in which heat and light energy are released. That's why it's an example for spontaneous combustion. Burning of LPG, burning of sparkler, burning of magnesium wire, burning of phosphorus. All these are examples for spontaneous combustion. So once the process of combustion starts, it takes on its own. It actually goes on producing heat and light on its own without any external cause. Such type of combustion, it is known as spontaneous combustion, and burning of LPG is an example for spontaneous combustion. Next question. Out of these, which is able to control fire? Which is able to control fires? Option A, NH3. Option B, H2. Option C, CO2. Option D, F2. Okay. So out of these, which is able to control fire? That means out of these, which can be used to extinguish fire? Na3 is ammonia, which cannot be used to control fire. It cannot be used as a fire extinguisher. H2, hydrogen gas. It is highly combustible. So if hydrogen gas is present, then fire breaks out rapidly. Carbon dioxide. So we have studied that apart from water, another important substance that can be used to put out fire, it is CO2, carbon dioxide. Fluorine, it cannot also be used as fire extinguisher. So answer is carbon dioxide. Next question. Burning of coal. Burning of coal in a closed room. In a closed room will produce option A, nitrogen oxide. Option B, carbon dioxide. Option C, carbon monoxide. Option D, oxygen. So burning of coal in a closed room, very important. So if there is no proper ventilation, then availability of oxygen will be less. So when availability of oxygen is less, what type of combustion takes place? Incomplete combustion. And product of incomplete combustion is always carbon monoxide. That's why whenever we use any combustible substance containing carbon, it should not be burnt in a closed room because it can produce carbon monoxide, and carbon monoxide is highly poisonous. If carbon monoxide is inhaled, then that can lead to formation of carboxyhemoglobin in the blood, which reduces the oxygen carrying capacity. That's why it is not advisable to burn, that is, fuels where there is no proper ventilation. I think nowadays you might have heard about gas geysers. So gas geysers, they are used to obtain hot water. See, normally that instrument will be fixed inside the bathroom. If there is no proper ventilation, then it can be fateful. So the gas chamber which is present in the instrument where oxidation takes place, if there is no proper oxygen content, then it can produce carbon monoxide, and as a result carbon monoxide poisoning can happen. It can lead to death. So in many cases, that is, people have died because of using gas geysers. So that's why one should see that whenever they are installing gas geyser in a bathroom, there must be proper ventilation, or there must be an exhaust fan. Otherwise, it can be disastrous. Okay. So incomplete combustion always produces carbon monoxide. The next question. Acid rain mainly contains. Acid rain mainly contains. Option A, oxygen and nitrogen gases. Option B, fluorine and chlorine gases. Option C, oxides of nitrogen and sulfur. In option D, carbon dioxide. Yes. So acid rain, as we already discussed, it is one of the type of air pollution which is mainly caused due to combustion of fossil fuels. So acid rain, it mainly contains oxides of nitrogen and sulfur. So rainwater, it is slightly acidic in nature due to the presence of carbonic acid, but whenever it falls in the region where pollution level is more, that means where industrial areas are set up, in that region they use more quantity of coal, and on burning coal, oxides of nitrogen and sulfur will be produced. They dissolve in rainwater to form sulfuric acid and nitric acid, and which is harmful for the human beings, for soil, and also aquatic organisms, that is aquatic plants and animals. So rainwater containing those acids, harmful acids, when it is released into the nearby water source, which can destroy aquatic life. So acid rain, it is mainly formed due to the presence of oxides of nitrogen and sulfur in atmosphere. Okay. So answer is oxides of nitrogen and sulfur. The next question. Which is a non-combustible substance? Option A, wood. Option B, paper. Option C, iron nails. Option D, straw. So which is a non-combustible substance? That means which substance does not burn on heating. So if you heat wood, it starts burning. It is a combustible substance. Paper, on heating it starts burning. It is also combustible substance. Straw, which is made out of plastics, it also starts burning on heating. But what about iron nail? So if you heat iron nail, it does not start burning. So it is a non-combustible substance. The next question. In foam type of extinguisher, dash is present in bottle. Option A, NaHCO3, sodium bicarbonate. Option B, Al2SO4 thrice, aluminium sulfate. Option C, aluminium hydroxide, AlOH thrice. Option D, sodium sulfate, Na2SO4. See, in foam type extinguisher, dash is present in the bottle. See, foam type extinguisher, it mainly uses carbon dioxide to put off fire. So how carbon dioxide can be produced in that extinguisher? So in a bottle, they are going to use, that is, carbonate or bicarbonate, and this carbonate or bicarbonate, it is made to react with an acid. So when carbonate or bicarbonate, when it is reacted with acid, normally it produces carbon dioxide, and carbon dioxide, it is a good fire extinguisher. So arrangement will be made in such a way in foam type of extinguisher. So whenever that seal is opened, that is, the acid comes in contact with carbonate or bicarbonate, and which immediately releases carbon dioxide in the form of foam, and which puts off fire. So in foam type extinguisher, the fire extinguisher produced will be carbon dioxide, and that carbon dioxide will be produced due to the reaction between sodium bicarbonate and an acid. So in the bottle they are going to keep, that is, sodium bicarbonate, any bicarbonate, and in this, that is among the options, we can select sodium bicarbonate. Next we will look at some questions which are asked in Olympiad examination. So these are the questions that are asked in Science Olympiad examination, which is considered as one of the toughest examinations, competitive exam, which is conducted in India for school and college students. I think some of you get any chance in participating Science Olympiad examination, do participate. Definitely it gives more experience for you to that is go through competitive examinations. So let us see in Science Olympiad examinations what questions have been asked related to, that is, combustion and flame chapter. So question is, consider the following factors. Consider the following factors. So which are the factors? One is fuel, second is oxygen, third is heat. Question is, which of these has to be removed? Has to be removed to put off a fire. Okay. So that is why I said Olympiad questions are somewhat tough questions. See here they have given three factors: fuel, oxygen and heat. And what is the question asked here? Which of these has to be removed to put off fire? Okay. So question is, suppose if you remove fuel, then fire will be put off. If you remove oxygen, then also fire puts off. Similarly, if you remove heat, that also helps in putting off the flame. So answer is, so they have given different options. First option 1 and 3. Second option 1, 2 and 3. Third option 2 and 3. Fourth option 1 and 2. See, this is how you will get the options. So 1 and 3, 2 and 3, 1 and 2. They are also correct options, but what is the most appropriate answer? 1, 2 and 3. That means by removing fuel, we can put off fire. By removing oxygen, we can put off fire. And similarly, by removing heat also, we can put off fire. Because they are the three important components which are needed to start combustion. So if any one is not there, the process of combustion will not continue. So that's why the answer is 1, 2 and 3. Option B. Next question, that is 14th question. Fire extinguishers extinguish the fire by option A, cutting off the air supply, option B, bringing down the temperature of fuel, option C, supplying air to the fuel, option D. So three options are given. Correct statements are, the correct statements are, yes. Look at the statements. Cutting off air supply, definitely by that fire will be extinguished. Okay. See, whenever we use fire extinguisher like water or carbon dioxide, what happens? It actually helps in preventing the contact between fuel and the oxygen, and as a result fire will be extinguished. So cutting off the air supply can result in fire extinguishing. Bringing down the temperature of the fuel. So when water or soil, when blanket is covered, or when carbon dioxide is sprayed, what happens? Temperature decreases. So when temperature decreases, that also reduces the combustion process, and finally fire puts off. supplying air to the fuel. So if you supply air to the fuel, what happens? That is, fire breaks out. So fire increases, combustion process increases. Many times we have seen, especially forest fire. A small that is kindle, that is generates, that kindle is enough to catch the fire in the entire area. How that happens? Because of air. So if wind blows fastly, then the process of combustion also takes place very fastly. So supplying air to the fuel, it increases the combustion process. It will not help in extinguishing fire. So which are the correct statements here? Correct statements are option A and option B. So answer this A and B. So both A and B, they are correct statements. Then let us take a match the following type question. So column 1, column 2. So in column 1, first one, burning of candle. Then second one, burning of phosphorus. And third one, burning of crackers. So what are the options that are given in column 2? First one is explosion. Second is slow combustion. Then third one is spontaneous combustion. So I have to match the following. Options will be given. So how to find out the correct option? So burning of candle. So burning of candle, it is always a slow combustion. So A is 2. Then burning of phosphorus. Burning of phosphorus, it actually happens without any cause. That means it is a spontaneous combustion. So B is 3. And automatically burning of crackers will be explosion. So what is the correct answer? So in the options you have to look out for, that is option A 2, option B 3, option C 3. So this is how you can also expect questions related to match the following. Okay. Let us take one more question. So they have given a diagram. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So this is the diagram they have given. So with respect to this diagram, they have asked which statement is true about these zones. So diagram they have given, and what is the question asked? Which statement is true about that is these zones? Option A, 2 is the non-luminous 2 is the non-luminous part of the flame. Then second statement, 3 is moderately hot part. Then C is 1 is used generally for melting gold. Then D, 1 is luminous but 3 is coldest part. See, this is a tricky question. So you have to analyze the given figure correctly, and then you have to go through all these statements and you have to select the appropriate answer. What is the first answer? First A, what they have given? 2 is the non-luminous part of the flame. See, 2 is the middle zone. So middle zone cannot be non-luminous flame. So that means this is wrong statement. Then 3 is moderately hot part. So 3 is the inner zone. So 3 is inner zone means it is the coldest part of the flame. So that is also wrong. 1 is used generally for melting gold. 1 is outer zone which has very high temperature and that can be used for melting gold. That means C is the correct statement. And D, what they have given? 1 is luminous but 3 is the coldest part. So 1 is luminous anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. That means it cannot be luminous, it is non-luminous because it produces blue flame there. And 3 is the coldest part. 3 is the coldest part, correct statement. But 1 is not luminous, it is non-luminous. That's why this is also wrong statement. Half part of the statement is correct, half part of the statement is wrong in the fourth option. That's why it cannot be selected as answer. So what is the most appropriate answer? That is 1 is used generally for melting gold. That is the correct answer because it is the outer zone and where maximum temperature exists. Okay. See, this is how you can also expect questions related to combustion and flame. So some figure will be given and with respect to that figure they may ask questions. So these are some selected questions I have discussed. So like this, any question can be asked in examination. So you must be familiar with all the concepts related to your topic. So go through the topic in detail, understand all the concepts, then only you can select the most appropriate answer when it is with respect to multiple choice questions. Thank you.